going along. So to those who are here, thank you so much. We decided a few weeks ago that December we would start to focus a little bit on mindfulness and self-care during the holidays, both for ourselves and also for caregivers. And so Joanna, who has been a fabulous volunteer with Boxing for Health in the gym, told us that she teaches meditation. And so we thought, what a great opportunity to be able to extend that to our members. So Joanna, thank you so much for joining. Joanna does run her own business. She's a certified meditation teacher, and she started doing this personally as a way to de-stress and to try and increase her own productivity. And it really evolved into a practice that she is growing and developing that's with a focus on self-care and compassion in our crazy world, and looking at ways to address what's happening around us through self-care. So that was a very simple introduction, Joanna. If you do have questions for Joanna, feel free to ask her afterwards, but as well, you can send an email to us. And as you know, Joanna will be coming back in a few weeks for an evening practice as well. Or I guess next week, right, Joanna?
It's next week, actually, yeah.
Practice. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you like it, please come back again or let your other people you work out with know. And Joanna, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Brock and Richard and Diane. It's nice to meet you. I have been around the gym for about a year, but I don't believe we've met. So it's nice to meet you virtually. Like Christy said, I'm Joanna. I live in Ottawa and I am a meditation teacher. And my aim is to make meditation be approachable and inclusive and not intimidating, so that as many people can learn and benefit from it as possible. A couple of things to share with you before we start. We often see people, sitting cross-legged with their fingers like this, or meditating in a special place. But truly, anyone can do it anywhere. It doesn't matter if today is your first time or if you've meditated before. My favorite saying is, if you have a brain, you can practice meditation. You may like to think of practicing meditation as going to a boxing class, except for your mind. You go to a class to help your body by practicing different movements and activities. And meditation is much the same, except instead of your body, you're using your mind. So our practice today will be about 20-25 minutes. And welcome, Bob. We're just getting started. My name's Joanna, and I'll be leading our meditation practice today. Nice to meet you. So we'll break up our meditation into two different chunks. One will be focusing on our body, and then the second one will be focusing on our breath. So a couple of things to know. You don't need to sit in any particular way in order to meditate. I invite you to put your body in a position that's most comfortable for you. That could be sitting, it could be lying down, or it could be something else. You also don't need to sit still. If things are stiff or uncomfortable, or you need to move, I invite you to do that as you need. The only guidance that I'll offer is to start your body in a position where you don't feel like you're tensing anything, or sort of holding on with any of your muscles, and to choose a position that will allow you to stay fairly alert. So you're not, lying down in bed under the covers, but you may wish to lie down on your back with a pillow under your knees or your feet elevated like Brock is doing there. All the guidance that I'm going to offer you is a choice. I am your guide today, but you are your best coach and teacher. And if something that I say doesn't feel good, or there's something you think would be better to do instead, please go ahead and do that. If you haven't meditated before, just to let you know, it's normal to sometimes feel a bit sleepy. during parts of the practice, even if you've had a good night's sleep. And that's because when we meditate, the brain waves that we achieve are similar to when we're falling asleep. So if you do fall asleep, that's okay. You also may feel like you're on your way to falling asleep, or you may remain alert. So like I said at the start, we're going to do two shorter practices today. The first, we're going to focus on different parts of the body, and then we're going to make a change and go and focus on the breath. So you can take a minute now to find that comfy position to get started. As Christy said at the start, you're welcome to keep your camera on or turn it off, whatever is most comfortable for you. So just getting settled in, you may wish to close your eyes for our practice. You may also wish to just lower your eyelids part way and soften your gaze. So as we start, I invite you to put down anything in your mind that you're carrying with you. Just set it down for the next 20 minutes or so, and let yourself know that this is really the only place that you need to be. So we'll start with our body scan. And I invite you to just bring your awareness down to your feet. Don't need to feel like you're applying a lot of effort here, but just let the sensations in your feet come to you. You may notice a few different things happening with your feet. Maybe you notice the temperature of them, or the feeling of your socks or slippers, the sensation of pressure if your feet are on the floor. You may feel some tingling or gentle vibrations. Whatever you find, I invite you to just be curious about what's happening in your feet for the next minute or so. And then bringing your attention just up a little bit and allow it to rest on your legs. You may wish to check out one leg at a time. Just running over the length of each leg and noticing how it feels today. You may notice some sensations. Again, you may notice the feeling of clothing, maybe the temperature of your legs. And then when you're ready, moving your awareness up to your hips and your seat. Just examining, being curious about the sensations here. If you're sitting, you may feel a sense of gentle pressure. Depending on how your legs are sitting, you may notice feelings of tightness or flexibility in the hips. Whatever you find, I invite you to just welcome it. No need to feel like we're judging or examining, but just being curious and open. Moving now into the abdomen. So, this is the area around the belly and the lower part of the back. As you rest your attention here, you may notice the gentle movement of your breath. Seeing what other sensations come into your awareness. Allowing any sounds that you hear to just float in and out of your awareness. And then allowing your attention to move up to your chest and upper back. So wrapping that attention right around from the front of the chest to the back, including the shoulder blades. Noticing what you find here. You may detect again the breath as your chest moves up and down with each inhale and exhale. Welcoming any sensations that you find in your back. Just greeting them with a wave, maybe a little smile. And then shifting your awareness up to the shoulders and the arms. Depending on how your body is positioned, I invite you to see if you can increase the distance between your shoulders and your ears ever so slightly. Just allowing the shoulders to relax down towards the ground. And then allowing your awareness to move down each arm over the elbow and the forearm. Ultimately reaching the hands. Noticing the sensations and the temperature of your hands. Perhaps checking out each finger. Noticing your palms and the backs of your hands as well. And then allowing your attention to come to your neck. So this would be the back of the neck all the way around the front to the throat. Noticing how your neck is feeling today. And lastly, we'll just check out the jaw and the face and the head. So allowing your awareness to move over every part of your head. Noticing your ears and your forehead and your cheekbones and your tongue. Welcoming whatever it is that you discover. And then as we wrap up our body scan, I invite you to allow that awareness to spread all the way back out over the body. So moving down from the head over the neck, shoulders, arms and hands, back and chest, your belly, your hips, your seat, your legs, and finally your feet. And just feel what it's like to feel your whole body at the same time. So at this time, if you like, you can blink open your eyes and move your body and have a little stretch, or you can stay exactly where you are. And we'll start our next meditation in just about a minute. Okay. So if your body's feeling comfortable and good in the position you're in, that's great. Making any adjustments that you'd like to do. And then you can close your eyes again if that's something you want to do, or just soften your gaze. So this short meditation is going to center around our breath. The breath is a very handy thing to use for a meditation because it's always happening in your body and it's also with you wherever you go. So let's just settle in again by taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. Seeing if you can follow your breath in through the nose, into your lungs, filling up all the way. And then slowly exhaling through the mouth, following that breath out until your lungs feel pretty empty. So I invite you to take a few more deep breaths on your own time. And then you can allow your breath to come back to a normal, comfortable rhythm. And as you watch yourself breathe, maybe you begin to notice where in the body you can feel your breath. So, this might be in your chest. As your chest moves up and down, you may feel a sensation of movement. This might be in your belly, if your belly is moving as you breathe. You may also notice a feeling of air moving in and out of your nose or your mouth as you breathe. So, just noticing which sensation is the most obvious and bringing your attention to rest on this sensation. Just thinking of the breath as your home base. This is a place that you can always come back to during the next few minutes of this meditation. Because our minds are human, they are going to move around to different things. You may start thinking about just about anything as you meditate. Maybe what you're going to have for lunch, or maybe something you did yesterday, or you may even make a to do list in your head. If you find this happening, let yourself know that this is normal and natural. So when you notice that you're thinking about something other than your breath, you can gently just say to yourself, "Oh, I can see that I'm thinking now." Or, "Yep, I notice that I'm feeling." And once you've done that, you can just move your attention back to your breath. And you may find you're doing yourself doing this quite a few times. And that's great because that is actually what we're practicing here. So just practice that for the next few minutes. Bringing your attention back each time it drifts away. Once again, just noticing the sensation of your breath. And then when you're ready, you can just gently let go of your focus on the breath and begin to reconnect with what's happening in the space or the room around you. Maybe noticing some sounds that you can hear, maybe the temperature of air on your skin. And then when you're ready, you can blink open your eyes if they were closed. And if it feels good, you can invite a bit of movement into your body with a gentle stretch. And that brings our meditation practice to an end. Thank you so much for coming. And like Christy said, if you have questions or um, would like to learn more, you can send her an email or and she'll put you in touch with me.